say, if I do, then God will help me. Right? Reb Nassan used to say, he said, I say, if I'm doing, it's a sure sign that God is helping me. Because who else could give me the koach, the energy to do what I need to in the world if it's not God?
It's in Perkei, but it's make your will God's will and He'll make His will yours. So as long as we're doing it though in the way that He wants, then it's a her way.
So true. That's so true. That's such a good point. Definitely, I think it's a great point. I think that's part of what's going on. You hit the nail on the head. I think that's what's really going on here, is this concept of again, the first thing is you're going to make your will His will, meaning you open up to the fact that you really have nothing of your own. God is giving you everything. Delayed blame garma klum. The person you have nothing. You have no power. Right? Then it's within that context then that you actually have the ability to really do tremendous things in the world, right? Because again, then He makes His will. He makes your will His will, so to speak. Because then all of a sudden you're kind of in line with, I don't know, this really deep fundamental reality, which is that God really is the King of the world and really is running things, and yet at the same time He gives us space to exist and to do in the world. And so I think that's exactly the first thing is, again, to realize, again, part of this, again, is we're talking about going beyond our fear. Again, even though fear can be quite pragmatic and important in this world, to go beyond when we daven, right? That's the space within which to explore what it is we really want to do in the world. Because we're in some place safe a little bit. We've got a moment to ourselves. It's quiet, and we're focused on God, and so we shouldn't fear anything else. So if all I feared was God, so to speak, what would I do? And assuming God loves me, which He does, He loves every individual. We even taught that God loves every blade of grass. Every blade of grass has an angel. Kol shekin human beings. So in the context of an all-powerful and all-loving God, where I don't have to fear anything, what do I want to do? And that's the Yetzer Tov. It's not reactive at all. It's totally proactive. And again, I think davening is the place to explore a world, our own inner world, without this reactive part. There's no fear there. I think that again, this the conception of the Yetzer Hara again is our natural reactive kind of personality that exists in the world, and actually we thank God we have it. We couldn't exist in the world, if you didn't have that. I mean, it's a dangerous world. You need to have that reactive self, in order to protect yourself. But it needs to be within the context of proaction and introspection in terms of what can I do in the world that relates to my mission as a soul in the world. Not just again. That's the basic assumption here: is you're a soul living in a physical reality. And so, what are you supposed to be doing? And that can only happen within the context of understanding a world, this inner world that has no fear except the fear of God. And I think again, prayer. It doesn't seem like it's talking about prayer, but it seems, in a deeper sense, I think the Zohar is, this whole thing is really talking about prayer. That prayer is the place where we kind of separate ourselves from the Yetzer Hara, and we go into a place where, again, there's no fear internally. So those moments, especially Shemona Esrei, where it's quiet and no one's paying attention, no one is looking at you, you're just you, and anyway, your inner thoughts. So that's basically it, I think. Where are we holding?
10:30.
Okay, good. That's good. So we had a little bit shorter class, but I think that's a good way to end. That is learning to go beyond our own fear through the safe kind of space of prayer, and relating prayer specifically as relating to, which it does, God as the king, as the one who gives everything. And coming to this place of consciousness where we understand that God controls and takes care of everything and gives us everything. And so therefore, we, so to speak, really have nothing of our own. And ephemerally. Again, the question is, we have nothing of our own ephemerally in the outer sense, and so then the question becomes, well, what is my own? What is my own contribution? What is it that I have to give that's not of the outside world? Right? It's not how much money I make. It's not what type of clothes I wear. It's not what type of what?
The choice, the free will to choose.
Yeah.
That's your own.
Yeah. So there you go. So you own your moral actions, and you also own your relationships, how you relate to others, how you help others. Yeah. You own your moral action, and also exploring that. What is it again that's really mine, or that I have to contribute? You know. It could be more than music, you know. It could be something else. That could be the ephemeral, you know. Whatever sometimes we think it's really mine. I wrote it. I did it. Maybe not. Maybe you didn't actually so much. Maybe that was just a gift, you know. But what you own is something is maybe, like you said, the moral choices, the relationships, how you help people, you know, those things. So anyway, okay. Have a good week.
Ciao.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure. So I'm